Leave of absence. There are scarcely 3 words that I can think of that strike more fear in the heart of, or more ulcers in the stomach, of small business owners. But there is a great way to manage leave of absence requests, and I'm going to tell you about it right now. I'm Brendan Rolfe, business advisor with the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. Let's get busy. There are many types of different leave of absence requests. We're not going to discuss vacation requests today because those can be approved or denied at the needs of the business. The leave of absence requests I'm referring to are things like maternity leave, medical leave, jury duty. Those leaves of absences are protected by the Employment Standards Act or Code in your province. There's also leave of absence requests that are not protected. For example, if I have an employee who wants to stay an extra 2 weeks in Bali as a vacation extension, that is up to me as a business owner to decide whether or not I want to grant that request. But let's talk about the protected leaves first under the Employment Standards Act or Employment Standards Code. So these are the ones that are specifically mentioned under the code. So again, things like maternity leave or pregnancy leave, things like compassionate care leave. These are the ones that have rules, regulations, and laws surrounding them. And we do have to honor them as a business owner. Now, there are parameters set surrounding the length of leave that your employee can take, and so you can enforce these with them. What I will recommend as well is that when you do either agree or deny a leave request, you do ask the employee for more information surrounding it first. So, for example, if they are going to need a leave of absence due to a pregnancy leave, maternity leave, or compassionate care leave, you can ask for their expected return date and put that in writing as well. One leave I would like to address that is not actually protected under the Employment Standards Code is a medical leave of absence. So there is actually no provision outside of sick days in some provinces for a medical leave of absence, which means it's not a protected leave under the Employment Standards Act or Employment Standards Code. That said, there are human rights implications if that medical condition is considered a disability. Additionally, if you did terminate an employee who is on a medical leave of absence for an illness or an injury, there could be implications surrounding wrongful dismissal. So, how best to manage a leave of absence request surrounding medical conditions? The very first thing you want to do is ask the employee for medical documentation that informs you on how you might need to manage this request. Now, we cannot ask employees for documentation surrounding a diagnosis. We can't say, well, what's wrong with you? I need to know what's wrong with you. Instead, what we'll do is we'll use a physical assessment or a fit for duty form to send with this employee to their physician that essentially will ask the physician to fill out what the employee's capabilities are upon their return to work, and we can ask for a predicted return to work time. I should mention that it is difficult for physicians to predict return to work when the issue is not physical. If it's an injury, we know that most broken bones heal within 4 to 8 weeks, and so they can probably give you a ballpark return date. But for things like mental health issues, there is no prescribed time in terms of how long somebody needs to recover. And so asking for a return to work date probably won't get you anywhere. That said, we can ask for what accommodations might need to be made when the employee does return from their leave of absence. So you want to be very specific in terms of what their duties and responsibilities are, and ask for what accommodations might need to be made as far as light duties, change of schedule, things of that nature. So that's the information that you need to know surrounding medical leave of absences. Again, they're not protected under the Employment Standards Act or Code, but there are implications surrounding common law and potentially human rights. So you should, where possible, make an accommodation to try to support an employee's request for a leave of absence. So ask for medical documentation, ask for a potential return to work, ask for any accommodations that might need to be made when they do return to work, and try to stay in communication with your employees. Now, this goes for all leaves of absences. Do your very best to communicate on a regular basis with them. If it's a maternity leave, you might want to reserve that communication for as they near their return from that leave. However, if it's an injury leave, if it's job protected leave under Employment Standards Act, be in regular communication with them via whichever mediums work best. I like to use ones where you have a paper trail, such as email or texting, but you can also call them as well. Stay in communication as much as possible. If they fall out of communication, so if you've tried to reach out to them and they have not responded, they go MIA, we might then be able to move forward with a job abandonment type of situation. Now, we'll definitely go over those job abandonment procedures in another video, or you can call us at Business Resources at your need. Hopefully this gives you a little bit more information on how to be comfortable with the leave of absence request and deciding when not to approve it, plus information you'll need to go forward to run your business. Thanks for joining me with Busy. This has been Brendan Rolfe with CFIB. Until next time, stay busy.
Hi, I'm Beatrix Abdulaziz, Policy Analyst at CFIB. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date on our initiatives, and consider joining us at CFIB.ca to see why we're in business for your business.